We're over the halfway mark in Foundation. So what do you think? Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? Is it going to kind of coast along? I don't know, but let's talk about it. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watch Your Pass, and it's Friday, which means a new episode of Foundation is out. This is Foundation Season 1, Episode 6, Death in the Maiden, which is coming to Apple TV Plus today, October 22nd, 2021. It is 50 minutes long, and it continues the story. It feels like Foundation has worked its way into a groove where they're still revealing new information. So you get some new reveals, you get some new aha moments, you get some new players, and the series does feel like it's still building more and more. And over halfway through, I kind of expected all the groundwork to have been laid, but this series, I guess the world is so rich, or maybe their plan is very long. So we're still getting new information over halfway through. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the episode. I'm going to talk to you about things I liked and things I didn't like. So as you can imagine, there will be spoilers. There won't be a ton of spoilers, but there will be some spoilers. So it's out on Apple TV Plus. Go ahead and watch it now and then come back. It's only 50 minutes long. If you want, you can also read the review on watcherpass.com where I'm a little more vague. I don't go into specifics. But let's talk a little bit more about this episode. So in season 1, episode 6, you get the Empire again. So in the last episode, episode 5, it was pretty much all Foundation. It was Foundation and then Gale. And in this episode, you do get the Empire. I actually missed the Empire a little bit in the last episode. I kind of like their balance where you've got the pageantry and circuit and pomp of the Empire, and then you have the more survival oriented Foundation. And in this episode, you get that back again. You get kind of half Empire, half Foundation. And in it, you also get to see some more dynamics. I mean, this series feels like it's all about kind of the interplay between characters and some of the political and, power jockeying positions. It kind of feels like a Game of Thrones light almost, because you do get a lot of parties that are getting introduced and kind of vying for the Empire's throne. And also you just have that fate aspect where, according to Harry Stelton's math, that this Empire is going to crumble. I think it was 500 years from now. So you kind of know that something is going to happen and it's going to go wrong. And so the series is just kind of building towards that. So in this episode, the things I liked, I really liked that the Empire is back. I like them. I've already said I like Lee Pace a lot. So every time Lee Pace is in an episode, I'm happy about that. But I do like their very specific kind of royal world and the way that and the various traditions that they have and the way that they go about ruling the Empire and some of the old practices that they have that you get to see that you get to see passed down throughout the various brothers, Brother Day, Brother Dawn, Brother Dusk. And I also liked getting to see a little bit more nuance in Brother Dawn. Brother Dawn is an interesting character. He's kind of been highlighted throughout. It seems like every episode there's something different about him that gets shown, and in this episode is no different. You get a little bit more about Brother Dawn and some of the nuances that are his character. The second thing I really loved are the power struggles. This series it seems to be all about power, and this episode shows some of those power struggles coming to life. So first, you have a little bit more of a power dynamic than I expected from the Empire itself. You get to see Brother Dusk and Brother Dawn kind of vying for power between them, and you have Brother Dusk kind of testing Brother Dawn and also watching him, and Brother Dawn trying to maintain that status quo in this. It appears that he is a very different emperor from the previous iterations of Cleon, and so in this one you get to see some of those aspects. A few things that are highlighted. Spoilers. He is colorblind, which apparently is a new thing for the Empire, although maybe previous ones just didn't ever admit it. Who knows? You also find out that he is a very capable hunter, which shows that he is kind of surpassing some of his brothers, some of the previous Cleons, in his own physical and mental attributes. So both of those I thought that were interesting, but he tried to kind of keep that under wraps from Brother Dusk, who is kind of watching him, trying to, I think I can't tell if he's trying to have him slip up or just trying to monitor him to make sure he's growing kind of in the way that's expected of the Empire. But in any event, you get that Brother Dusk is watching Brother Dawn, and Brother Dawn is a little bit more cautious than I think Brother Dusk expected. He's anticipating these surveillance tactics and these intrusions into his privacy, and he's using them, and also he's making sure to fly under the radar over Brother Dusk. You also have a new party kind of come into play. I think this person's new, although I don't remember if they were introduced before. You have Zephyr Halima, and Brother Day is going out to meet with Zephyr Halima, and you get this very interesting meeting where it seems to be low key, and then you find out that maybe this this character has a little bit more influence than anyone anticipated, and so that's another power struggle. You're going to see the Empire versus, it seems like maybe a few factions out there, because you've got Foundation, who doesn't seem to be going against the Empire, but also they are following Harry Seldon's teachings, and so eventually they know the Empire is going to fall. You have the, I forget what the name of the faction is, but the faction that invaded Foundation is trying to set up and fight the Empire, and then now you have this new faction in Zephyr Halima and her planet, her followers as well. So you're going to get, it feels like you're getting some different factions forming up for an inevitable struggle. The third thing I really loved is more Salva. I like Salva a lot. I think she's a fantastic character, and in this episode you get to see more of her. But in this one, what I really liked is you get to see a little bit more of her personal side, of her vulnerable side. She is such a strong character, and in the last couple episodes she has been becoming a leader and kind of growing into her own. And in this episode you get to see that she's also kind of a, she's not a kid, but she has feelings, and she is very sad about what happened, something that happens to her father, and so you get to see that come out in this episode, which I appreciated, because Salva is such a strong, stoic character, and it's nice to see her grow as a, as a person as well as kind of the guardian. And the last thing I kind of liked, although you'll see in the criticisms, you get more buildup. We're learning more and more about this world. You're getting more factions coming into play. You're getting a little bit more on the power dynamics. So we're building more, and I'm wondering where it's going to go. Although, now going to things I didn't love, more buildup. It feels like this is just constantly building, and I'm wondering when something's going to tip. I mean, I know that there was some action in this. There's a little bit of movement in the plot on the Foundation side, but it still feels like we're getting introduced to new characters and new power entities. And I'm wondering when Foundation is really going to start paying dividends. I feel like all we're doing is investing in this world, and then eventually you'd hope that there's some sort of payoff. I haven't gotten it yet. There's still 4 episodes. I'm a little worried that maybe it's going to keep building until some sort of finale at the end of season 1 that leads into season 2, which might be the exciting one. But we'll see. There's still 4 episodes. It's a lot of time left, so there's still plenty that could happen. It's just it's starting to get to me that it feels like every episode is just more world building, and there's not as much movement in the overall story. And the second thing I didn't love is in this episode there were some effects that didn't seem that great. And I'm going to caveat this by, I watched a screener, so I watched it before it was out. So it's possible that some of that is fixed in the final episode. But there was a scene at the start when someone wakes up from cryo sleep. And I noticed this the first time when there was a cryo sleep incident earlier in the season. The characters that wake them up, they look kind of like Avatar-esque, like Avatar the movie-esque, like a little bit too plasticky, big eyes. They look like CG characters, which is weird because this series has really, really good production values. It's such a good testament to world building. I see these little instances where it seems like maybe the effects didn't go as far as they could. It's a little frustrating because I know that this series can do it. They do such a great job in all the other aspects as well. And also there was a scene involving some sort of explosion that took out a ship or a couple ships later on that didn't look very good. It looked very much like CG. Now that I think could be a screener, because sometimes the effects aren't really in, and it's tough to tell what's going to be in the final versus what's going to be in the screener. They didn't look great. I'm hopeful that was just this instance and the final product is going to look good, but it's something that I noticed, and I noticed CG. It's one of my little pet peeves. So if it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. Or if it's fixed in the final, then just don't listen to me. And maybe I'll trim this out if it's actually fixed in the final. I'll go check when the series is actually out. So overall, I think this is a rental. In my scale, this would be a rental. This is not something you have to run out and see because it's not amazing, but it does more world building. It builds more of this series, and you're going to keep watching this series anyways. If you're 6 episodes in, you're going to watch to the end. So let's see where it goes. I'm a little concerned that maybe we'll never get to that payoff in this season. I'm sure eventually it will get there, but I'm worried that this is going to be a constant, a constant tease, essentially. So that's Foundation Season 1, Episode 6. It's available on Apple TV Plus right now, October 22nd, 2021. And thanks so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot and make sure all my new content goes straight to you. And check out all the other content I've got. I've got other reviews. Most of them are movies. I don't do a ton of series, but hey, I'm doing more, so maybe I'll keep it up. And then also I've got interviews, unboxing videos, and a weekly recommendation of things to watch. So check all those out, and thanks so much.